His brooding good looks earned him the title of Hollywood's It Boy. His daring screen roles won him critical acclaim. But his sudden death at age 28 makes Heath Ledger our #1 most unforgettable Hollywood tragedy. In 2005, after roles in A Knight's Tale and The Patriot, 25-year-old Heath Ledger became one of Hollywood's most wanted men.
I'm trying to keep it fun for myself, so I'm trying to, keep a variety in what I'm playing.
Ledger's performance as a closeted cowboy in Brokeback Mountain garnered Heath Golden Globe and Oscar nominations.
It's definitely a great honor to have had the opportunity to work with such great material and such great actors and such a great director, and to have the final product turn out the way it did and get well received. It's a good thing.
The actor struggled with the real-life pressures of fame and family.
He was the tortured artist. He just couldn't quite reconcile all the different pressures and all the different expectations, both externally and internally.
Heath was also dealing with his breakup from Brokeback co-star Michelle Williams.
Heath and Michelle had their daughter Matilda in October 2005, and soon thereafter they really developed problems in their relationship. They had been engaged, but they never got married. He ended up moving out of their Brooklyn house, got an apartment in Manhattan, and he was really estranged from Michelle.
At the start of 2008, Hollywood was already buzzing about the actor's riveting performance in The Dark Knight, set to debut that summer. But there were also concerns that his role as the Joker may have had an effect on Ledger's psyche.
Some people that were working with him on the set of The Dark Knight said that he was in a great mood, smiling and talking about his daughter. Other people argued that playing the Joker made a tremendous impact on him.
While filming The Dark Knight, Heath himself admitted during a New York Times interview that he was on the prescription Ambien to help him sleep. He was barely sleeping 2 hours a night.
After wrapping The Dark Knight, Ledger reportedly began working 15-hour days on the London set of his new movie, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Heath had the starring role in the film, and there was a lot of pressure on him. It was a very dark movie, very fantastical, and a lot of people speculated that a lot of his insomnia and stress had come from this very dark role that he was in.
Back in New York, on the afternoon of January 22nd, 2008, Ledger's lifeless body was discovered in his New York City apartment.
It's a shocking Hollywood ending. Heath Ledger has died at the age of 28.
According to reports, Ledger was found nude in his bed.
From the very beginning, there were rumors of drug use, and the details sort of eked their way out. Some you could verify, some the police were getting behind, but generally nobody had any substantiated evidence.
As news of the tragedy broke, hundreds of onlookers gathered outside Heath's Soho loft as Ledger's body was loaded into a coroner's van.
There was such a commotion outside of Heath's New York City apartment. So many fans and mourners wanted to physically see for themselves that this was really happening. There was the paparazzi. There was every network involved with their camera crews.
Police found no signs of a crime, so the question was, accident or suicide? The initial autopsy was inconclusive.
Well, I'm not going to make any judgment until the medical examiner makes his final report. Right now, he says there is no criminality. We're going to see what the toxicology report says.
2 weeks after Ledger's death, the medical examiner released his report. 6 different prescription drugs were found in the actor's system.
There were multiple prescription drugs found in his system, including pain relievers, medications for sleep, and for anxiety. And then they found another medication, doxylamine. It's an over-the-counter antihistamine that's also used as a sleep aid. So when you add all of them together, you can decrease respiratory drive and someone can die from that.
In the end, the official cause of death was listed as accident from the abuse of prescription medication.
You would think that a doctor might be monitoring his drug use, except that a lot of the time when actors are on sets or are traveling, they have multiple doctors, and one doctor isn't doing all the prescribing, and sometimes people just don't realize that certain drugs can't mix.
Ledger was cremated, and his ashes were scattered near his childhood home.
After Heath died, there was a private memorial service in Perth, Australia, with friends and family. There were photos of Michelle Williams in the water, and I thought that was sort of a refreshing image. They did share a daughter together.
In August 2008, Heath was back in the headlines as The Dark Knight hit theaters. The big-budget thriller broke box office records. With his last film, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, still in production, Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell each stepped in to help finish the movie.
Not one of the three actors took any money from the filming of the movie. Instead, they donated all the proceeds to Matilda.
In the end, it was clear that Hollywood lost a brilliant performer way too soon.
He had everything to live for. He could have had a career that stretched decades. And when he was found dead, it was such a tragedy. It was one of those things where everybody felt the wind knocked out of them. And you could feel in Hollywood the loss.